So thank you guys for coming out today in this challenging weather that we have had. And I was afraid it was going to mess up my hair, but thank goodness no damage was done there. We want to thank all of our sponsors today for making this luncheon possible. We want to start out with Cargill. They are the program sponsor today, so thank you for that. West Termite Pest and Lawn is today's presenting sponsor. And also a big thank you to FCA Northwest Arkansas for sponsoring this fantastic lunch. How about that lunch today? Yeah. You know, bringing these star athletes together to honor their accomplishments this past season is central to our mission of promoting the power of athletics, and we could not do this without the generosity of those sponsors, and we do greatly appreciate that. We also want to recognize and thank the parents today. Now, the athletes who we honor are supposed to come up and do that, but if they don't, I'm doing that for them right now, okay? So thank you, parents and coaches and all special guests. But we specifically also want to thank the athletes for being here today and for the great, outstanding seasons that you have, and to be here today to be honored. And, I was an athlete back in high school. Coach, I was a 20-20 guy. Did you know that? I was a 20-20 guy. If we were up by 20 or down by 20, I got in the game. So I stick to that 20-20 thing. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing going, and we're going to start out by honoring our top bowlers, okay? So we're going to start out with the girls bowler of the year. That's Abby Heinzelman. Did I get that right? Of Fayetteville? I got it right. Yay. She is a senior. She won the Class 6A individual title after bowling a personal best 263. 263. Had a 674 series. I don't even know what that is. That's so many points and all that kind of stuff, but that is fantastic. Abby, here you go.
Thank you. Say whatever. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, awesome. Well, I actually started bowling last year, my junior year. I'm a senior right now, and I was like really surprised. Like I was just doing it for fun with my friends, and then I ended up getting pretty good at it, and it's like really addicting when you learn how to spin it. And so I started going a lot, and I'm like best friends with my coach. He's not here right now, but we're really good friends, and so he would just bring me in there every day before the bowling alley even opened. And he would just let me bowl as much as I wanted for free, and it was so fun. And then this year, I started working there, and it's like really fun. I work 5 to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday, which is like super late. Anyway, and then this year I like really went after it and tried to get first, because last year I got third, and I really wanted to win a state championship before my high school year ended. So I worked out every single day, and I got it done, and I was like super excited about it. So yeah.
I'm going to have you go over here and join Graham, and we'll do a Q&A when we get our other young man up here, the boys bowler of the year. That is Barry Huntley of Elkins, won the Class 3A, 4A state individual title with a 217, 219, 200, 636 series.
I just wanted to say thank you to the Lord for blessing me with this opportunity, and thank you to NWA for giving me this honor, this award. And I'd like to thank my parents, because they've always supported me in everything I do. And I've actually loved bowling ever since I was a little kid, because my older brother, he was a really good bowler, and I just wanted to be just like him when I grew up. So thank you.
Awesome. If you would, Barry, go ahead and go over there with them. They're going to do a Q&A, and take this with you.
All right. Well, guys, I have to admit to you, when it comes to bowling, I might be the worst bowler on the planet.
That's good.
Even when they put the rails down, I'm a bad bowler. So, Abby, let's start with you. So, what did you say the shift you're working at the bowling alley is?
5 to 1 a.m.
You know, as a journalist, I got to warn you, that's the rough shift to work. That's tough. So. No, I'm just kidding. That's really cool that you're doing that. Let's talk about bowling. So, you said you were a new bowler last year. And I know you're an athlete, you play soccer and I'm sure you've done other things too. going to a sport like bowling, what were some of the biggest adjustments you had to make in terms of just throwing the ball so often?
Well, I didn't know that you had to really focus on the panels on the floor. You wouldn't think about how the wood panels go down the lane. Something I never thought of last year, and so I started focusing on that this year. It's just way more of a mental game compared to the other physical sports like soccer is. So I just had to adjust my mental ability to that.
So is that what when they talk about reading the oil on the floor, because I've heard bowlers. We talked about this yesterday in Fort Smith with our bowlers. That they start off the floor completely oil, but the more you bowl on it, the more torn up it gets on the oil.
Yeah, it definitely makes it way harder, way more confusing. But my coach helped me through all of that, so he told me what to do basically. But yeah, the oil is very confusing. So.
Okay, well, let's talk about the state championship, the Class 6A state championship meet. That was on your home lanes, right? Did that give you a little bit of an advantage? You think a little comfort in being able to bowl there?
Yeah, since I bowled there every single day, it was definitely it felt easier, and I knew how the lanes were adjusted each time we switched, so it just made it a little bit easier, and I wasn't as stressed out.
And what was it like winning the individual state championship? I mean, that's got to be just a really cool feeling.
It was super exciting because my coach is the only other person at Fayetteville that won, and so it was really awesome to share that with him. So we were the only two people at Fayetteville that won state, so it was really special.
You're also a soccer player. I know that can be tough doing a couple things. I know you were probably still training for soccer during bowling season. Was that a challenge, or did you just no problem at all?
It was definitely hard to try to adjust my practice schedule because the games were on the same day I had soccer practice, so I had to leave the game early, go to soccer practice, and adjust my whole schedule, which was definitely hard. The
challenges of a student athlete, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure every one of them in this room can relate to that to some degree. So, Barry, congratulations to you as well. When your name came across that you had won a state title, from a very personal standpoint, I was so happy because I just think the world of your dad and get to work with him a lot. But again, congratulations. Tell me about your rise through the bowling ranks. I know you've worked really hard to get where you're at.
So whenever last year, I really wanted to be on the bowling team because that was my brother's last year of bowling. He was a senior. Mm-hmm. And so even though I was in 8th grade, I still bowled that year. And at state, the AAA found out, and they told me I wasn't allowed to play, so they kicked me off. And then it really motivated me to be the best bowler that I could possibly be. And I wanted so badly to get first place since Connor only got second place.
You don't ever rub his nose in that, do you?
Oh, I don't at all.
So along the same lines, like we asked Abby, reading the lanes, do you have a strategy when you go in of what you're trying to do?
Yeah, so whenever there's practice time, I try and figure out what the lanes are doing and how to adjust to them. And then once the lanes start breaking down, you just got to make moves, make changes in order to try and throw the better shot next frame.
Did you have any examples of maybe some adjustments you had to make? Were you hooking one way and had to try to spin it the other way, or?
Well, so the first game, I tried to throw more of a straighter angle because there's more oil in the lane. But since as time went on, less oil was on the lane, so I had to start moving left and use a wider angle to hook the ball in.
Whenever I watch bowling on TV, which, every now and then they'll have some really cool stuff on there, you see them, they'll throw the ball and it will veer almost to the very edge of the lane and then it'll hook back. How do you do that?
You just got to kind of, once you get used to bowling, it becomes more comfortable to be able to throw it to the very edge and know that it's just going to come back.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Tell me about winning an individual state championship, what that feels like.
It felt great to finally achieve the one thing I wanted to do, and I still got 3 more years of bowling. So
unbelievable. Freshman winning the state. You've set yourself up now, so you got a lot of expectations to get after these next 3 years, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our girls bowler of the year, Abby Heinzelman, and our boys bowler of the year, Barry Huntley.
thought you just threw the ball as hard as you could down the lane and hoped it got there. I didn't know there was a whole strategy involved. See, thinking. I'm not supposed to be thinking. They do. And Abby, are you hoping to bowl in college? Is that no? Professionally? I mean, you're pretty good at it. You might want to think about it. What am I doing? Oh, the plaques. That's right. Y'all did earn those, right? Yeah. There we go. And a cap. I need someone else up here. Abby? There we go. I'm not used to handing out awards like that. All right, so that brings us now to our swimmers and divers of the year. Our swimmer of the year, who's not in attendance today, is Yofang Yu of Bentonville, but I'm going to tell you what he did. He helped lead the Tigers to the 6A state team championship by winning the 50-yard freestyle in 20.90 seconds and the 100 free in 45.34. He won 4 gold medals at the 6A state meet. 2 as an individual and 2 on relay. So that is our boys swimmer of the year. Yeah. Our girls swimmer of the year, Hayden Gibson of Har-Ber. Her list of accomplishments literally is like this long. I mean, they sent that to us and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm just going to encapsulate it just a little bit. So she won the 200 individual medley in a state record time of 1 minute 59.76 seconds, okay, at the state championship. She also won the 100 backstroke title, and she also won 4 golds at the state meet. And that's just a part of what she did this year. She broke the Arkansas girls state record in the 200 intermediate 2 times this year. She swam at the Junior Nationals, the U.S. Open, and the U.S. Olympic team trials. She has won multiple USA swimming state records. She's a 3-time USA Swim Arkansas Swimmer of the Year, an academic All-American, and is committed to swim at the University of Arkansas. That is our Girls Swimmer of the Year, Hayden Gibson.
First, I would love to thank my parents for taking me to practice every day. They sacrifice a lot to get me here. Thank you, my coaches, Coach Mo, Coach Witten, for leading me through this process, and my sister for being the best cheerleader and competition. And thank you for this award.
All right. Our girls diver of the year is Katie Parker of Bentonville. She posted a winning score at the 6A State Swim and Diving Championships of 424.50. Katie Parker.
So I started diving 2.5 years ago, and it was kind of random how I started diving. I tried out for the high school dive team and surprisingly made it after I was doing gymnastics. I was not a very good gymnast, but diving proves to be great. When I first started diving, we live in Bentonville and I practiced in Fayetteville. So I would love to thank my mom for driving me almost half an hour every single day to practice. And I'm just super grateful to be here. Thank you.
All right, and our boys diver of the year, Emery Robison of Fayetteville, won the 1-meter state diving championship with a 4:36, the state meet. Emery Robison.
I'm just glad I'm here, and I want to thank my parents, my dad for, driving me to practice and also paying for it. And then I want to thank my coach for putting up with me every day and helping me get better. and I'm just really glad I'm here today. Thank you.
The microphone.
Well, guys, we got a full table on this one. So one thing I know about swimming, which isn't a lot, but I do know that I've heard the stories over the years about how you guys get up at 4 and 5 in the morning, and you guys will practice for hours before any of us ever even get up. Hayden, we'll start with you. And I heard a diver in Fort Smith yesterday mentioned this very same thing about driving to. It was Carter Jackson of Fort Smith Southside. I'm sorry. That we'll talk about that with you later. But no, we'll stick with you, Hayden. What a great year you had. You always set out to swim the best that you can. Did you ever know that you'd be able to do what you did, breaking all these records and winning all these gold medals?
Well, I feel like when I was breaking these records, I wasn't really thinking of the record itself. I was thinking of improving my own time and my own race, and the record just came with it.
So, you mentioned all the work that you put in. So could you kind of give me a snapshot of what your day is like during swim season?
Yeah, so actually this morning I swam from 5:30 to 7 and then go to school, and this afternoon I have 2-hour and 30-minute practice with some dry land, and then it's usually like that throughout the week, and Saturdays we practice for 3 hours, and Sundays we do some long course swimming.
You'll have to tell me what dry land means.
Yeah, it's just like normal exercises like pull-ups and push-ups and stuff.
So they're still going to make you go run in the, and all that stuff? And,
yeah.
Okay. You're going to swim at the University of Arkansas after high school. I know that's just got to be something you're really excited about.
Yeah. Since I was little, I've looked up to the girls on the university team. I'm committed with my twin sister, so I'm really excited to go there with her.
All right, and you're having a twin sister. Does she push you as far as the swim goes?
Yeah, so we both swim. When we swim the fly events, we're usually next to each other. So both of our goals is to beat each other, and we find out what happens.
What does is it a friendly ribbing, or do y'all get after it pretty good?
Yeah, it's mostly like really competitive, but at the end, if she beats me or if I beat her, we're still sisters and friends.
Awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and go to Katie now. Back to the diving, like I was telling you. Mm-hmm. The diver in Fort Smith yesterday, Carter Jackson, also drives up to Fayetteville every day to swim, is also another gymnast too, is what she said. So there's got to be something there. I mean, because you got to be able to bend and contort your body as a diver in a lot of unique ways. So just tell me about that aspect of it.
Well, in gymnastics and diving, they're both flips, and I think there's a lot of people who transfer from gymnastics to diving, and I don't know why, but
right.
It's a really good foundation for diving.
Maybe a little easier on the joints, probably.
Yeah.
At least you got the water to kind of help things. So I'm sure you can do a number of different dives. What is your favorite one to do?
My favorite one to do would have to be, I don't know if you guys have seen the University of Arkansas pool, but they have a platform tower that goes all the way up to 10 meters.
Oh, my goodness.
I love to go up there and do a front 2.5 in the pike position. It's got to be my favorite. We
would ask you to give an example of that off the table, but I don't think. So about the success you had this year, Katie, the winning score at the Class 6A meet. Tell me about that experience and what it was like for you.
Well, at my high school diving competitions, it's not always about the points that I'm worried about or beating everyone else. It's really about how how my dives feel and how good they are up to in my standards, not worrying so much about the judges. But all my hard work in the past several years led up to this, and I mean, hard work, it always pays off. So
Awesome. All right, Emery, along those same lines, the work you put in as a diver, it's just unique. I mean, and sometimes you have to try to find places that have a diving board, right? I mean, and that's not easy sometimes, right?
Yeah. That's what we were actually. I moved here recently, just about 2 years ago, and that's kind of, depending on where we moved, is why we moved to Fayetteville, is because a lot of the other places don't have pools with diving boards. But here in Fayetteville, the university does, which is where I practice.
So where did you move from?
I moved from Indianapolis.
Oh, wow. Okay. Welcome to Northwest Arkansas. So, you know, certainly you moved to the right place because there are some facilities here for the diving. How long have you been doing diving?
I started diving in 6th grade for middle school, and then I started, but it was more of like just a fun thing to do for school. And then I actually really started thinking about it and practicing going into high school.
So, like I asked Katie here, do you have a favorite dive that you do?
Right now, my favorite dive is something I recently learned. So it's on the 3-meter springboard. So you jump forward and you do 3.5 flips backwards, and you do a half twist before on the first flip.
Wow. So, and I've always wanted to ask a diver this, because you know, if you ever go to the pool during the summertime and people are just kind of you know having fun on the diving board, as a diver who does this as a competitor, do you ever just get out there and do some like cannonballs and some fun stuff?
Sometimes it's hard to not think about it though. Getting back on a diving board as not like practice. Every time I get on one, I just think about it like practice though. So it's hard to do it normally.
Yeah, and you don't want to show anybody up in the summer pool then either, do you?
No.
All right. So these are our swimming and diving honorees. We have Emery Robison from Fayetteville, Hayden Gibson from Springdale Har-Ber, and Katie Parker from Bentonville.
And we got some swag for you. All right, yeah. I've never been a diver, but I crowd surfed at a Marshall Tucker band concert one time, but we won't talk about that.
How long ago was that, Chip?
I'm not saying. It wasn't yesterday, though. And I think cannonballs and belly flops should be part of the state swim and dive competition. That's what I think. The most splash you can get gets the highest award. Right, Coach? That's what I'm saying. I think I could compete in that. All right, that gets us to the wrestlers of the year. Our girls' wrestler of the year is Samantha Graciano of Bentonville West. I get that right? There we go. She was a 6A state champion at 145 and also the regional champion. She won the Bryant Hornet Swarm, the Greg Henning Invitational, and took second at the Bentonville West Invitational. Please welcome our girls' wrestler of the year, Samantha Graciano.
I'm really excited to be here. Thank you to my coaches for these wonderful opportunities. I started wrestling around 2 years ago. I would have never thought I would be here. And I'd like to thank my parents. They're not here, but yeah, thank you for this opportunity to be here.
Awesome. All right. Need some help? You got it? Okay. All right. Our boys wrestler of the year is Daxton Kline of Springdale Har-Ber. He won his second consecutive Class 6A state championship. He went 48-4 this year as a sophomore. Last year as a freshman, 42-4. Won the Bring the Hammer tournament. Defeated 5A state champion Don O'Kelly of Van Buren, who was a higher weight class, right? There you go. All right. Also won the Seneca, Missouri tournament along with regional titles. Our boys wrestler of the year, Daxton Kline.
Sorry. I just want to say thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, Emma. Thanks, Jack. I'm happy to be here.
Do Do you do the hair for the wrestling? Is that part of it?
Yeah,
Is that natural?
this is part of it.
Oh, it? Yeah.
Tell 'em about
The
my
whole
hair?
Team? Yeah, the whole team.
Oh yeah. Everybody that qualified for state bleached and buzzed their hair.
I
Yeah.
think I'm going to that look next. I have a spot on the.
Yeah, I think you did it.
Here we go. Take this with you. Here we go.
Back when I was a kid, I had blonde hair too, but you never know it. So, no. Guys, congratulations. Wrestling did not exist when I moved, or wrestling in Arkansas did not exist when I moved here almost 20 years ago. And it wasn't long after that we started wrestling as a high school sport. And it's really taken off. And it's great to see, the wrestlers starting to get the recognition they deserve. And it's just growing and growing and growing. We've got a lot of good wrestling coaches in the audience today too. Samantha, can you tell me a little bit about your history in the sport? Like, how long have you been wrestling? How did you get into it? And what was that like for you?
So I joined wrestling around 2 years ago, and it was just like for fun. And I don't know. I joined because of some friends. I knew some people that were in wrestling, and they said it was pretty fun. So I stuck around. They didn't, but that's okay. So, yeah.
When did you realize that you were going to be pretty good at it? Because you say you joined for fun. So then you start, you get involved and you start competing, and then all of a sudden you start having success. Tell me about that process and what that was like.
So it was last year, like right before state, and I was actually losing a lot. And I just kept with it, and then I started winning, and then I placed second, and that's when I really thought, like, I want to stick with this, and I want to stay with this.
Okay, so last year moves into this year, and you've got some experience. You now had some success. What were your goals going into this wrestling season?
Okay. My goals were to just keep winning and keep improving 1% each day. It doesn't matter. And then coming to practice even when I don't want to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At the state meet, you took the 6A state title at 145 pounds, and you won the regional title as well. That's the cream of the crop wrestlers in your weight class. So, how difficult was it to achieve those?
It was pretty difficult, knowing that, like, from my region, they were really tough. So I just came into, like, regionals and state as if it was just like another tournament. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Daxton, so after having so much success as a freshman and doing everything that you did, what was it like coming into your sophomore year with all that under your belt and trying to duplicate it? Because you're a marked person after you have some success, and people are going to give you their best shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think that really actually made it easier, I would say, because I had all that confidence already built up, and I just was going to do what I already did. I think that helped.
Can you give me a little bit of your backstory about how you got into wrestling personally? Is that something you've been doing a long time? Or?
Yeah, a really long time. I've been wrestling for 11 years-ish. My dad wrestled, so I started when I was 4, so wrestling when I was 4, and yeah, I wrestle all the time. Been wrestling all the time for a long time.
This year you won the 6A title again in your weight class. Were there some things going into the year that you felt like you needed to get better at? Because I know there's certain a lot of technique involved with wrestling, and I think Coach Nika and Coach Callahan would always say that you could always figure out a way to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle moving my feet fast, like getting the other guy moving while moving too. And yeah. I don't.
So sometimes you have to start on your knees, and there's a person on top, and you got to try to escape. And then other times you start. Do you have a preference on which, or does it matter?
I always choose bottom because you can score more points that way because you can escape then get a takedown. So I always choose bottom, and I also think it's easier to get away from bottom than it is to hold a guy down on top.
Do you feel like the getting your hair blonde like that's going to be a continued thing at Har-Ber?
Yeah.
Did y'all do that last year too?
Yeah, we did it last year.
Oh, yeah. We got to keep doing that.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, this is our Girls Wrestler of the Year, Samantha Graciano of Bentonville West, and our Boys Wrestler of the Year, Daxton Kline of Springdale Har-Ber.
All right, don't run off. I got some stuff for you. There you go. How beautiful does she look today? Right? Am I right? Keep working on it, Dex. Keep working on it. Goals, man. Goals. All right. Now we're going to recognize our Girls Basketball Player of the Year. This award is sponsored by Blue Agave. Easton McCollough of Farmington, a freshman. This is what she did this past season. She averaged 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.4 steals per game for the 5A state champions. She hit 138 three-pointers, 138. Had over 100 assists. She is the 5A West Conference Player of the Year, the 5A State Tournament MVP, 5A West All-Conference, 5A All-State. Please welcome Easton McCollough of Farmington, our Girls Basketball Player of the Year.
Thank you. I just want to thank y'all for the award and my parents and coaches and my teammates for a great first start of high school basketball for me. Thank you.
Just go ahead and take that with you.
All right, Easton. Well, congratulations on a great season. One of the things that I've thought about a lot about the Farmington Cardinals and what a great run, the Farmington Cardinals have been on, and what a successful, back-to-back state championships?
Yes, 3.
3 straight in a row. When you're a 9th grader about to walk into that gym with a team that's already loaded with talent, is that intimidating?
Well, I've known all the players my whole life, and they welcomed me in great on and off the court, so they made the transition super easy for me, so I'm super thankful for them.
Let's talk about your journey as a basketball player. And I understand your mama was quite a basketball player as well.
Yes.
So, kind of runs in the family. But do you remember when you started playing and kind of how that was?
I've played my whole life. My mom's coached at Farmington for 20 years, I think. And she played college basketball at Mississippi State. So I've just grown up with basketball. I've played since I can remember, since I could. So I've played my whole life.
So, as a freshman, you make the varsity team, and you've got a starting role and a very important role. But you've got so many good teammates around you, so many good players. How does that help a freshman out there, anybody actually, but having great pieces around you?
Yes.
Tell me about just how that is, and having great teammates to give you support on, especially on nights when you may not be playing your best.
Yeah, definitely. Having great teammates around you is obviously a lot of help, because I think we also celebrate each other's success. So it's not just about one person, it's about the whole team, and I think we do that really well, and yeah.
Over Christmas break, you guys went to Tennessee and played all these really good teams out in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coach Johnson was trying to get y'all beat out there, and I think he succeeded one time.
Yes.
Maybe to take the edge off a little bit, but he's sending in results every night, and y'all play this team who's done all this, and y'all beat them, and then y'all beat this team. But how did that experience get y'all ready for the conference season and what y'all had to face, after the new year?
Yeah, we played a tough conference or non-conference schedule to get us prepared for conference and state, obviously. And I think it helped a lot. Obviously, playing really good teams in our non-conference schedule prepared us for our conference schedule, and obviously we made a big run in state and won state, so I think that helped us a lot.
Did you ever feel like, the Greene County Tech game? I want to ask you about that one because I understand, this was in the state semifinals.
State finals, Greene County Tech.
I'm sorry, not Greene County Tech. Who is it?
Bologna.
Bologna, that's
Yeah.
right. Who in the states, but it was at Greene County Tech.
Yes, yes.
You had to face Bologna in the semifinals, and I know they had a great game plan for you. They had somebody in your face about the whole night.
Yeah.
And you did at that moment have to kind of rely on your teammates a little bit. Was that a good experience for you, you think?
Yeah, I think they obviously guarded us really well. We had to set a lot of screens, but my teammates do a great job setting screens and getting me open and hitting shots when they need to. So I think that was a great game for us and a great experience for us.
Then when you play in the state finals against Greene County Tech in Hot Springs, you guys, Greene County Tech played a great ball game too. It was close, but y'all pulled away in the fourth quarter to win it. Yeah. What was that experience like playing in Bank OZK Arena and winning it all?
It was good. Obviously, we have a lot of seniors that have a lot of experience there, so I think they also just give me my confidence to go out and play, be who I am. So I think that was a lot of help, and obviously they had the experience, so they just kind of told me play who I am, be who I am. So I think that really helped a lot.
I know coaches maybe said this to you before, but you're not a freshman anymore.
Yeah.
So next year, I'm sure expectations will be high, but I know you're probably really excited to get back after it and go win it again. Yeah,
for sure. We'll have a whole different team next year, but I'm excited to obviously have 3 more years, so I'm excited to continue playing high school basketball.
All right, this is Easton McCollough of Farmington, our girls basketball player of the year.
There you go. All right. Coach, I think you told me this before, and I might have forgot. Okay, I did forget it. Not I might have. I did forget it. After she left the freshman team, how did that freshman team do? Didn't they? They also did exceedingly well, right? Undefeated. Took the best player off that team, and that group still went undefeated. That's what kind of program they got going on over there. Give him a hand. Yeah. How'd your friends take that when they found out you were not going to be with them? Was that a little touchy? Yeah. All right. That brings us to our boys basketball player of the year. This is sponsored by Ozark Lanes and Straits Lawn and Garden. This name is not a secret to anybody who covers and watches basketball around here. Isaiah Seeley of Springdale. The senior led the Bulldogs to the Class 6A state championship game, averaged 17.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game, and has signed with the Hogs. Yes. Isaiah Seeley.
I just want to thank y'all for giving me the award. Thank my family, of course. Thank God. Thank my team. They're watching anyhow. Yeah, thank y'all.
All right, Isaiah. Well, congratulations on just a great season for you and your team. And I want to, your dad played college basketball, and so and your mom's an athlete too, right?
Yes, sir.
So no doubt you were going to be doing some kind of sport as a kid. Tell me about your journey through basketball. How long you've been playing? Babe, I'm assuming all your life.
For sure, yeah. My dad was actually like a trainer. He always like train and coach kids at the gym, at the next level gym, the rec. So I've always been like, as a kid, I've always been in the gym with him. Just even if I was just like laying down or sitting down on my phone in there, I've always just been in the basketball gym. I played football too growing up or as a kid, but it wasn't like basketball. I always had a love for basketball.
Now, have you always been tall? I mean, you're what, about 6'9", 6'10"?
No, like 6'7".
6'7". Oh, okay. Give or take a couple inches. Yeah. But have you always been, maybe tall for your age, taller than the other kids?
Yes, sir.
So when you're at that small kid level, I mean, that you can really dominate a ball game when you're that size,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Just being taller, my dad, him being a coach, he helped me just develop me being a point guard or a guard at the same time as being tall too. So him being a coach helped a lot with me growing up.
So, it was an exciting year for Springdale High. Just tell me about you won the King Cotton tournament first. That was kind of the first really big deal for you guys, right?
Yes, sir, for sure. I didn't know on the way up there, but I guess there was only a couple of Arkansas teams that had won that tournament. So we took that. We had kind of a chip on our shoulder going there because there were some higher ranked teams, higher ranked players there, and we just wanted to show what we can do. And
I think y'all had a little something to prove at the King. So the King Cotton tournament is in Pine Bluff. For those of you who don't know about it, it's probably the most well-known basketball tournament in Arkansas during the holiday season. Right before y'all went and played there, though, y'all had lost to Marion in your brand new gym, and on a night. I know that was just a tough night for everybody involved, but I don't think you guys lost again after that until in the state finals. So,
yes, sir, for sure.
I mean, that got y'all motivated.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely did. I don't think anybody seen us losing that game versus Marion, but, it definitely ticked us off a little bit and made us keep going harder and play good in the King Cotton.
Just like we talked about with Easton McCollough over here just a minute ago, you got to have great teammates involved. And,
for sure.
Boy, you guys at Springdale, y'all had a bunch of them. There's Daxton Kline, there is Cy Bates, there's DJ Hudson, there was Malik Sosa, there was Holden Plant. I mean, I forgive if I've forgotten someone listed on this, but every one of you guys kind of played your role on that team. For sure. I try to mention them anytime I can because without them, I don't think we could have made that run. And Jackson Conley and Malik Sosa, those were the main, I would say, I was the main scorer on the team, but those were the two main people that got us going, that got all of our stops, bring the energy and all that. So without them, I would definitely say, and I would say to Easton, I don't know where you're saying that. She's right here.
Yeah, teammates definitely important for sure, and it's big to be a leader. Team is going to follow what you do. The energy you bring is contagious. So I would just say keep that leadership mentality.
So you signed with the Hogs pretty early, like it was in November, I think, when you signed, or somewhere around then. And then you get to go and watch them kind of do their thing, during the college season. But then they started 0-5 in the conference, and then they got hot late in the year, and then went on this run in the NCAA tournament. How fun was that for you, just to kind of stand back and be like, I'm going to be with these guys next year?
Yeah, it was definitely great to keep in mind while I'm in my high school season too. Seeing them kind of struggle early on. I knew they had to fix some things, and they had some injuries going on too. But as far as watching it while I was in my senior season down the street from Fayetteville, it was definitely nice for sure. I got to catch a couple games. It was a great environment.
Coach Cal, are you excited to get to play for him?
For sure, it's going to be great.
You guys came up short in the state finals. Y'all were right there. I know, but I don't think that's any knock on the season you guys had. A lot of really good basketball teams. In Class 6A, you guys, that's the highest classification. There's a lot of really good basketball teams that can do it. Isaiah, talk about the talent level that you guys played against and in the tournament and all that.
Yeah, it was definitely a great season in Springdale for sure. Definitely at home, I would say. The home games, I could have said we could have played a little harder in. Going back to that Marion game, I feel like we could have played a little better there. But as far as the whole season, non-conference, we played teams to get us ready for a state tournament. That was great. We won the King Cotton, winning the state with a little chip on our shoulder as well. People didn't think. I hope people thought we was going to win, but a lot of people didn't think we was going to win as well. Yeah. So it was great. It was a great season, great memories.
How do you like that new gym over there?
Oh, it's great.
If y'all haven't seen the new Bulldog Arena at Springdale High School, it's really something. But I have to tell you, old Bulldog Gym, whenever it was getting loud in there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was pretty special as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like the new gym for sure. I think it's gonna be great for the future.
What last question for you here, Isaiah? What are you most looking forward to about basketball from here on out? I mean, I know you got big goals and big dreams. I know you probably like to play in the NBA one day.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as college, I just want to, kind of turn up Fayetteville a little bit. Just put on a show for Bo Walton, my home state. That's it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Isaiah Seeley of Springdale High School, our boys basketball player of the year.
Isaiah, did I read this correctly, or maybe I didn't, and maybe Dad can help me? Somebody said they had a malfunction on doing the Star Spangled Banner at one of the state tournament games, and Cy Bates sang it? Did you join him, Isaiah? No. What? You could have had your singing debut there. How about that? How about one of our own guys? So you guys know they start the state tournament every day with a Star Spangled Banner, right? That's the way they started. And they had a malfunction with the something, and one of his teammates in front of a whole arena. If that happens next year, you got to sing it. Sang it. How about that? That's the kind of kids we got here. That's the kind of kids we got. That is fantastic. Yeah. That's the kind of kids we got. All right. So that brings us to our final award. So we started this award 2 years ago at a luncheon where we honored high school football players, and we've now done that twice. And that luncheon went over so well, my boss said, let's do this 3 more times. There we go, 3 more times. So we honored, the player of the year and the defensive player, all that, whatever. And a big part of Northwest Arkansas that I think is really cool is when players come here from no matter where they come from and play for the Hogs, a lot of times they come back here. When their careers are over, they come back here. That's a really cool thing, I think. That's how much they love this area. Well, Jim Lindsay was one of the first to do that. He played here in the 60s, was on the national championship 1964 team, went on and had a professional career, could have lived anywhere he wanted to, could have moved back to where he was from, but he chose to come back to Fayetteville. Now, if you guys don't know the story of Jim Lindsay, he's more than just a name on a lot of apartment complexes, okay? He's way bigger, way bigger than that, was way a bigger part of the Hogs. But they were playing Texas in 1964. Those guys, okay, 1964, and they were losing. And Jeb, you probably heard this story before. They were losing, and things weren't going so great. And even Frank Broyles, the most optimistic person I think I've ever seen in my entire life, was like, man, I just don't know how we're going to get this done. Okay, we got guys that are hurt. We're bleeding on the sideline. Plays are not working. We're behind. Everything that could go wrong was kind of going wrong. And they're trying to figure out what to do. And Jim Lindsay, who had 3 broken ribs at the time, had gotten 3 ribs broken, gets up and says, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. And they did. The Hogs did. Players, teammates rallied around. Talking about teammates. Teammates rallied around this guy. And they did beat Texas and went on to win the national championship. Teammates gravitate to players like that. If you're a top player on your team, well, they say, Coach, your team is defined by the best players leading that team. It's not the coaches. Coaches play a big part, but let me tell you, when it is a team-led team, it's a player-led team, your team's going to have the best chance of winning. You're a coach. Everybody knows that. It's team-led is where you have the best success, and that's what Arkansas was that day with Jim Lindsay. Went on and won a national championship. So that's kind of the story of Jim Lindsay. More than just an apartment name guy, he was a big-time player for the Hogs. Jack Hooe exemplifies Jim Lindsay. The wrestler at Shiloh Christian is a 3-time state champion. 3 times. Has over 100 career wins. He started out at 106. That's like one of my legs, 106. Moved up, won a championship there, won a championship at 120, Won a championship again this year at 138. He keeps going to the pizza place. He's going to go to 165, I think, or whatever. His career high school record, I think at this time when I got this, was like 110 career wins, maybe more than that, but that's what I have here. But he's also, outside of wrestling, he was part of the Arkansas national team for 4 years. He's a National Honor Society member. He will graduate at Shiloh Christian with already 60 college hours. Already 60 college hours. Okay? I think you're going in as like a senior, I think, or something, right? Almost. Yeah. Also runs cross country. And in his spare time, I think works for Chick-fil-A. Okay? In his spare time. That is a leader. That's what a leader is. Just like you working, where's my bowler at? Working 5 to 1 a.m. That's what leadership is. Getting up and singing a national anthem when the sound system breaks down. That's what a leader is. And that's what we're here honoring today. But Jack, where's he at? Come on up and tell us all about yourself. This is the Jim Lindsay Leadership Award winner.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'd like to thank my team especially. I had a great team this year. We had 5 state finalists, 3 of which were only freshmen. One of them was my little brother. I have great coaches with CJ and Coach Widger really helping me all the way through. And I was team captain this year, but it was really easy to be team captain because of how much that they had set up the team already. They had great routines and regiments, and it was honestly easy to keep the people organized, and I just had a great team, and they all work hard anyway, so great team to lead. And I found myself just being fortunate, having a great season, and that made it a lot easier to lead. And I'd also really like to thank my parents. They always guide me, and they always help me as much as they can. And I'd also like to thank Jesus for always being my light and being who I try to strive to be.
Well, Jack, congratulations on a great season. I was going through our notes here, and I was seeing the rise up in the weight classes. And I know that's not easy. Like,
it's pretty easy.
When you're at 106 and you're trying to stay at 106.
No, I was really tiny. I was actually bulking.
Yeah. So
in 8th grade, I was like 90 pounds.
And then you keep moving up, and Chip joked about it, but it's really not a joke. I mean, you're going to keep getting bigger as you go, but having the discipline and having to weigh, because you guys weigh in every time.
That's the worst part, for sure.
Is it nerve wracking? I mean, does it affect your preparation?
It's dehydrating.
So what do you do? Like, do you just don't have any water like 24 hours beforehand?
To cut weight? It's super fun.
Tell us about it a little bit.
So basically you eat super healthy for like 4 months all season, and then a few days before every weigh-in you have to like cut water, but you're still working out and wrestling and like sweats and stuff, just trying to drop all your water weight.
Oh, wow. So you were able to get plenty of pasta over there, right, then?
Oh, now? Yes.
Okay, good.
I ate before this.
Good. Chip mentioned some of your superlatives outside of wrestling, just some of the things you do. So can you kind of give me a snapshot of what your a typical day is like for you whenever you're doing all these things?
Yes. So right now, twice a week, I go to a trainer called Coach Kuhn at like 5:30 in the morning is when we get there.
Right.
And then I work out, and then I have my school day, and then I have either a team lift or a wrestling practice with Shiloh. And then I go home and I go to my club practice in Bentonville. And then I come home and I do homework for a couple hours and I go to bed.
Wow, that is a full day. You've already done so much in the classroom, 60 college hours. That's unbelievable. So yeah. Do you know yet what you're going to do with your college plans?
It depends on where I get into. I'm applying to all the United States military academies, and I'm talking to a few of the coaches from there. So if I go to one of there, I'll hopefully graduate doing law.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan. You did cross country too, and
Yes.
I'm sure that helped you with wrestling too, because it gives you the endurance. I mean, because some of those wrestlings, I mean, you may go five or six times during the day, right?
Oh yeah, yes sir.
The leadership side of things. You mentioned that you were one of the captains for Shiloh Christian, and sounds like y'all had some younger kids that had some success.
Yes,
So
sir.
you being an older guy, how is it trying to mentor those younger guys? They're having success. You've been in their shoes though. Is that a challenge?
No, sir. All of our freshmen, they work really hard. They come in there with like that fire because they wrestled in junior high and they wanted to be on the high school team so bad that they get there and they're all fired up to do really good.
I like to ask this question of our Jim Lindsay Leadership Award winner every time, but what does leadership mean to you? Not just on the athletic field, but in the classroom, in the community, whatever you're doing.
Yeah. So a big thing that I found this year was I always thought growing up and stuff that if I was team captain or any spot of leadership that it would be a benefit, but I found out that it was not a benefit. It was more of a burden. But I learned to love the burden of leadership and what I gained from it. It showed me that there's so much more than like yourself in it. And where I was the happiest every time was when my teammates had big upsets or my team won. I mean, winning individually is great, and that's what you work for. But honestly, watching my teammates win and just knowing that my team was doing well because I was trying to set an example was very meaningful to me.
All right. Well, congratulations. We certainly wish the best for you and everything that you've still got lined up, down the road. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Jack Hooe, our Jim Lindsay Leadership Award winner.